franchise partners are going to play, what role we're going to play, what are we going to do together to make a change that will get us a better result. Okay. That takes care of the getting it, the confidence until we achieve. There's still going to be some hesitation that it's going to work, but we're going to beta test it. And the third brain barrier to change is that we don't give it enough time, and we're going to give it all the time we all think we need. And if we need more, we'll give it more. 99.9% of the times this works, and at the next convention or gathering of all the franchisees, the high resistors aren't resisting anymore. They're in fact validating. They're standing up in front of the franchisees with microphones and they're saying, this works. So then you have a choice, depending on how large your organization is. You either, A, take another group of the franchisees, but not all, who are enthusiastic about implementing, because you never want somebody to implement who isn't enthusiastic and who doesn't get it. If everybody gets it, roll it out. B.
So what's your take on franchise advisory councils? And because the ones that I've experienced, their support has been kind of disengaged from that process. It's always been, basically engaging that as a franchise system plus the influencers like you're talking about, working together toward, making a change.
Okay.
But then as things have closer reorganization, or who is important, I've seen a disconnect there.
Okay. So, a couple of questions. First question is it a system or brand advisory council of which everyone's a member, or is it the franchisee advisory council that we attend? So my first question is, because if it's a brand or system advisory council that we all belong to, that's very different than if it's an advisory council that's the franchisee advisory council that we attend. If it's their council, we're just encouraging us and them.
When you say all, you talking about all the franchisees are in the council?
The council would be made up of membership from the different job roles and functions within the company. If you had company operations, they'd be represented. Locations. If you had franchise, they'd be represented. You'd have representatives from the C-level. You'd have representatives from training. You'd have field consultants. God forbid you'd have a customer. Think of franchising as a team sport, not the chasm that exists when the owner of the Dallas Cowboys doesn't consider the players equal to him. Consider labor and management, where management considers that they have to put up with labor's committees. They have to listen to them rather than want to listen to them. Okay. You're all aware, here's a little anecdotal story. You're all aware that franchisees now belong to the IFA. And so 10 or 15 years ago, Jim Bugg, who was the founder of Decorating Den, and Steve Lynn, who was the CEO of Sonic, were running the IFA. Steve was going to take over from Jim Bugg. Jim Bugg was the chairman of the IFA. And that year, he and Steve decided that because they only have a 1-year tenure, start it, Steve would support it, and then Steve would carry on, and the it was franchisee inclusion. Now, there are 50 members of the board of directors of the IFA sitting at a big square table. When Jim Bugg announced this, the reaction among most of the franchisors was expletive deleted. It was like plantation owners and slaves. Serious. Turn off the microphone. Don't record this. Not you. This is the meeting. Steve and Jim Bugg persisted in inclusion. The primary motivation for letting franchisees into the IFA originally had nothing to do with their contribution. It had to do with new revenue from fees to join. Okay. As they joined and got involved, the tone of the meetings changed because we couldn't talk about them when they were in the room. Respect grew, even admiration. And 3 years ago, the outgoing chairman of the IFA was a multi-unit operator of McDonald's. So from 8 years, it went from can't have one of those people president to, yeah, maybe you can. And they did a damn good job. And we'll give them a standing ovation. Franchising is better because it's a team sport. Not doing it's an us, them. Because we all have one thing in common. Getting and keeping very satisfied customers. If we don't have that in common, we don't have a relationship. That's why I say relationships are goal-driven. There is no goal in most franchise companies that the franchisors and the franchisees explicitly have signed off and saluted to. As a team, there is no common goal with a metric that strategies and tactics are designed to achieve in there. And when it's there, you'll have a team sport. And that's the leadership's job, is to create a team sport in franchising. It has to be a team sport. Otherwise, we're playing on the same team and we're playing different games. But it will happen. And, you know, 20 years from now, everybody will go, well, of course it's a team sport. Of course it is. Right now, it's not. Good. Thank you for asking that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, here's how beliefs work, and you can see in yours that this word's issue. Whenever an issue comes up, the way you think about that issue is the result of your beliefs interacting with that issue. So when I'll give you an example because I've had 2 hip replacements and a knee replacement. So when I walk up to TSA in an airport, first thing I look for is, do they have those scanners I can stand in and go like this? Otherwise, I'm disappointed because I don't get a massage. Okay. So you either go through a process or you don't go through it. What's your belief about that? Because you can either be irritated about it, or you can have a belief that says, I can't do anything about this, so I can either ruin my own day or not. So your belief about that issue creates the way you think, creates the way you feel, creates the way you act. That's the way things work. That's why it's important to understand, help me understand what beliefs you have. If I know your beliefs, I can predict your behavior. So I need to try to figure out my client have done if you believed this? Would that have given you a better result? I'm teaching you how to think with questions rather than going, well, you know what, I think, no, I didn't ask you what you thought, but now that you're going to tell me, I have no choice, so I have to listen to you. But actually, I'm thinking about playing golf. But go ahead, I'm going to pretend I'm listening to you. But since I didn't ask you what you thought and you told me you'd impose on it, I'll just pretend you're a really cool guy and important. But I can't repeat back anything you said because I'm really not hearing. So what we want to do is make you think. And when I make a statement, you can't think because you're going to argue. Because I have to think about whether or not I agree with you. And if I don't, I'm going to tell you I don't, or I'm going to keep quiet because I don't want this conversation to go on much longer. And I know if I tell you I don't agree with you, it's going to go on for 20 more minutes.